So in this video, we're going to replace the brake fluid. We said about it in a previous video when we did the fluids underneath the bonnet. So yeah, today we're going to actually get on and do it. So to make life a little bit easier for this, we're actually going to take all four wheels off so that we can access the bleed nipples a lot easier. You don't need to do that for this, but we're going to do it just to make our lives a little bit easier. Unfortunately, I've only got two axle stands, so very carefully I've been able to put some bricks underneath the back wheels, as you can see. So for the purists amongst you, don't worry about it. I love my Giulietta probably as much as you do, so I'm not going to do anything to compromise it. It's been done very carefully. The axle stands at the front, obviously. We've got the padding on as well, so we've got the front wheels off. We're just getting the back wheels off the ground at the moment, or they're off the ground. And we're just going to get all the wheels removed so that we can access those bleed nipples a whole lot easier. Obviously we've got the trolley jack there supporting as well for just in case. So now we've got one of the wheels off. I'm just going to show, hopefully, if you can see the bleed nipple here. We've just got the rubber kind of cover, protective cover, to stop it getting covered in dirt and grease and grime when you're driving along, obviously. So we're just going to remove that cover. There we go. So hopefully you can see that, and that's where we're going to bleed it from. So also, as I've said before, I like my driveway and I don't want oil or brake fluid or whatever going on it. So rather than when we start bleeding just letting brake fluid siphon out of there, or rather drain out of there, what we want to do is just get a kind of homemade vessel just for it to drain into. So I've just got some it's actually fuel hose that I've got from a local supplier. That's just going to push on over the top of that bleed nipple, and then obviously as the fluid comes out, it's going to come down and drain and just end up straight in this bottle. So when we're draining the brake fluid, or when we're replacing the brake fluid, rather than let all of everything that's in the reservoir run all the way back through the pipes all the way through as we're going to push it out, it's easier to actually remove as much of the fluid as you can and put it into the container beforehand. So you can either do that by kind of using a vacuum, a specific vacuum, or kind of some people use like a turkey baster, like a pipette sort of thing. So I'm going to use a bit of hose pipe just to try and get it out and get out the majority, should we say, of what I can get in there before moving on to the next step. It's worth pointing out, obviously, that brake fluid is corrosive, so have some rag available, so if you should spill any, you can just mop it up straight away. So once you've drained as much fluid as possible, then you need to top it up with brand new fluid. Use a funnel if you've got one to prevent getting any brake fluid anywhere. So with the reservoir topped back up with new fluid, we're going to start on the furthest wheel from the reservoir. It's always recommended to do that. So we're now at the back driver's side. I've got someone helping me today and they're going to be pumping the brake while I do this. So the step is going to be basically release the bleed valve, pump the brake down to the floor, tighten the valve back up, and then release the brake. And then do that over and over again until we see all the dirty fluid come out here and the clean fluid, the clean new fluid, basically coming through. Then we know that that pipeline is complete. Okay, so now with someone in the car, I'm just going to open up the valve and then ask them to put the pedal to the floor, please. You can see the fluid coming out down the hose pipe. I'm just going to tighten it up now it's to the floor and then come off the pedal, please. Okay, and once again I'm going to open the valve, ask them to put the pedal to the floor, please. And now I shut the valve, and now come off the pedal, please. So once you've done that a few times, all the dark liquid should have gone into your bottle, and then you should see the clear liquid coming through into the hose pipe. Once you're happy that it's all been expelled, tighten it all up, put your little plastic cap back on the cover, and then move on to the next. So we're doing that first one. What I found was the reservoir actually emptied really quite quickly, just after a couple of pumps. So it's really worth keeping an eye on the reservoir, and just every couple of pumps, maybe 3 pumps, just coming and giving it a check, top it up with some more fluid, .4 obviously, like we said previously, and just keeping your eyes, make sure that you don't induce any air into the system. So yeah, make sure you keep your eye on it. Okay, so the fronts look a little bit different to the rears. It's exactly the same operation. Obviously we've got our valve right there. Going to connect the hose pipe up to it and do the same. Loosen it off, pump the brake down to the floor, tighten it up, and then release the brake over and over until we see that clear fluid coming through. Okay, so with all 4 done, obviously going from the furthest one first to the next, to the next, to the closest. Once you're all done, check your levels again, make sure that you're up to your max on there. Put the lid back on, and then we're done. We'll take it for a test drive and just check, make sure everything's working fine. So for now, we've done all 4 wheels. Obviously started at the furthest one, then did the passenger side rear, coming to driver's side, and then this one for the last one. It's closest to the reservoir. So we're all happy. We've checked our fluids, we've topped them up, we're right up to the max on here. So we're going to get the wheels back on, take it for a test drive. First test will obviously be to make sure that we can actually stop before we get to the end of the drive, and then we're going to go and test the ABS as well. We're go and put some pressure on the brakes and make sure that they're actually working perfectly fine. So there we go, that was a great success. Really pleased with the way that went actually. Very straightforward, nice and simple, certainly achievable on the driveway at home. If you've liked it, please give us a like. If you've liked it even more, give us a subscribe up here somewhere hopefully. For now, that's it. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks very much.